All right, salvete omnes. I now call to order the third General Assembly of the 2021 California Junior Classical League Convention. Welcome to the final General Assembly.
Hi, everyone. I'm Mr. Davis, Matt Davis from Miramani High School and the CAJCL State Chair. I'm just here to talk about nationals a little bit. As you know, every year NJCL hosts a national convention. The national convention is just like the state, but it's a week long instead of just 2 days, all two short days. You know, when we have this state convention, this goes by so fast. But at the national convention, it goes on for almost a week. And this year it's going to be virtual from July 24th through the 29th. It's registered. It's open to everyone who's a member of the CAJCL is a member of the NJCL. And it's one of those things that is a true joy to go to. I went to my first national convention maybe about 6 years ago, and I was just shocked how much fun and exciting it was to spend time with students and colleagues, you know, strengthening my love of the ancient world, where you get to compete, but you also get to meet people from all across the country and come together and celebrate JCL and Latin in the ancient world. I would strongly recommend that all of you think about doing it, especially with virtual this year. You can come and see what it's like, and then hopefully the year after it will be in person. The CAJCL is offering a scholarship to people who are interested in going. If you apply to the scholarship, the information's on the CAJCL website. If you apply to this, we will pay for your registration fee. Right now we have 10 scholarships, but there might be more. So go ahead, look on the website and apply, and we'll see you in the summer. All right, thank you. Now I'd like to introduce Sadie Algren, historian, to say the Pledge of Allegiance.
Fidem meam obligo, vexillo civitatum, Americae foederatarum, et rei publicae, pro qua stat, uni nationi, Deo ducente, non dividendi, cum libertate, justitiaque omnibus. And now I'd like to introduce Second Vice President Rupert Chen to talk to you guys about the spirit contest, to talk to you about the results for the spirit contest. Sorry.
Because of the virtual nature of the convention, we will not be awarding overall schools or top 10 awards this year. However, we will still recognize individuals. So each winner will receive a certificate through email. And if we don't have your email, they'll be sent to your teachers. The winners of the Ludi events will be sent out to your teacher after convention. Now on to the spirit results. Every year, you guys show such enthusiasm for the classics through spirit. Again, I really enjoyed all of your submissions. I now would like to congratulate this year's spirit competition winners. In the middle school category, the runner-up is Crossroads Middle School. And the first place is Harker Middle School. Congratulations to both schools. In the high school category, in third place is St. Ignatius College Prep. In second place is the Harker School. And in first place is Woodridge High School. Congratulations to all three schools once again. I would also like to recognize individual winners in the categories most serious, most funny, and best overall. For most serious, there is a tie between Abigail Gardner and Jessica Milmo from Miramonte. For most funny, again, there's a tie between Jonathan Hagendorn, Derek Ning, and Wyatt Barnes, and also Olivia Sofield, again, both from Miramonte. And for best overall, we have Xander Dienhart and Otto Winter, once again from Miramonte. So congratulations to all of the individual winners. And each of their submissions will be available on the Spirit info document, tiny.cc/CAJCL 2021 Spirit after GA is over. Thank you all for participating. Now we have SCL with highlights from Olympica and the inauguration of the 2021 to 2022 CASCL board.
Thank you, Rupert. Salvete omnes. It has been a pleasure this past year to serve as your 2020-2021 CASCL president. I hope you all enjoyed all the events that we offered you these past 2 days, including Ludi, Olympica, and That's Entertainment. And congratulations again to the winners of That's Entertainment. I am honored to have worked with such a talented board, and I'm excited to announce the 2021-2022 CASCL board. Our CASCL president is Sophia Abulfati from UC Berkeley. Our CASCL vice president is Kiana Hugh from Stanford University. Our CASCL secretary is Michaela Fahn from Stanford University. Our CASCL webmaster is Gil Pele from UC San Diego. Our CASCL JCL liaison is Lauren Cho, who will be attending UCLA. And finally, but not least, our CASCL parliamentarian is Kevin Corrigan, who has not yet decided on a college yet. So we will wait for that later. Congratulations to all the board members. And now I would like to invite Sophia Abulfati for her inauguration as president of CASCL. Repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Sophia Abulfati,
Do solemnly promise
do solemnly promise
to faithfully execute the office of president
to faithfully execute the office of president
and all the duties that it entails.
and all the duties that it entails.
I further promise
I further promise
to promote Latin, the Junior Classical League, and the Senior Classical League,
to promote Latin, the Junior Classical League, and the Senior Classical League
to the greatest extent possible.
to the greatest extent possible.
Congratulations. And now I will pass it on to Sophia to inaugurate the rest of the board.
All right, the rest of the board are not on the Zoom call, so I'm just gonna kind of say the thing out loud. It might be a little awkward, but I'm just gonna say it and then they're gonna repeat it at home. So just a heads up. So I state your name, do solemnly promise to faithfully execute your respective office and all the duties that it entails. I further promise to promote Latin, the Junior Classical League, and the Senior Classical League to the greatest extent possible. Okay, by now you're probably done. Congrats, and I'm super psyched, stoked, everything to work with you guys next year. So now I'm going to show some of our Olympica submissions. This year was a little weird because all of it was submitted through video, but I'm going to show some highlights. So 1 second. We had a trick shot competition that was super cool. We had some really creative submissions. Over here is Baron from Crossroads submission. He basically rolled a coin all the way across his counter, I don't know, like 4 feet or something. It was really cool to land exactly between the prongs of a fork. And then Scott from Miramonte, see him up here all the way on his balcony. He managed to shoot a basketball all the way into the hoop over here, down like 2 stories. And that was just like really, really cool to watch. We really enjoyed watching that one. And then last but not least, we have another Crossroads submission. Daniel took inspiration from Odysseus and built a little tiny crossbow to fire through 3 cheese holes, which I thought was super, super creative. And I loved the little connection to the classics. So thank you all for submitting. And I'm going to pass it off to Elizabeth to share the election results.
Ladies and gentlemen, we now have the results of the 2021 CAJCL election. Thank you again for participating. Your service to the JCL today reminds me of Cicero's famous words, non nobis solum nati sumus, not for ourselves alone are we born. Now to the results. Can everyone please turn off their cameras so we can focus on the winners? And please turn on your camera and keep it on when your name is announced, beginning with the appointed officers first and the elected officers afterwards. The next CAJCL webmaster is Ashley Yoshi from St. Ignatius. The next CAJCL Nuntius editor is Kayla Davis from Menlo School. The next CAJCL Southern representative is Brian Lazarus from the Willows Community School. The next CAJCL Northern representative is Sadie Almgren from Menlo Atherton. The next CAJCL convention presidents are Sophia Perez Lanza and Luis Moore from St. Francis. The next CAJCL historian is Malika Dandamoody from Miramonte. The next CAJCL secretary is Alexis Kim from Sage Hill School. The next CAJCL parliamentarian is Claire Lendon from Menlo School. The next CAJCL second vice president is Avery Conweiser from Harvard Westlake. And the next CAJCL first vice president is Elizabeth Casey from Sage Hill School. Thank you everyone for voting and participating in our election. It is with a full heart that I present to you the assembled delegates, your 2021 to 2022 CAJCL board. Maximas gratias tibiago. Please give the incoming 2021 to 2022 CAJCL board a round of virtual applause. And here is our current second vice president, Rupert Chen.
At this time, it is my honor to swear in the new California Junior Classical League second vice president, Avery Conweiser. Please turn your camera on, and everyone else, please keep your cameras off. Okay, and then please unmute, raise your right hand, and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Avery Conweiser,
As CAJCL second vice president,
as CAJCL second vice president,
promise to uphold and carry out my duties,
promise to uphold and carry out my duties,
as stated in the CAJCL Constitution and bylaws.
as stated in the CAJCL Constitution and bylaws.
I further promise to carry out the recommendations of the state chairs
I further promise to carry out the recommendations of the state chairs
and to help promote Latin and the Junior Classical League during my term of office.
and to help promote Latin and the Junior Classical League during my term of office.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Sorry, I was supposed to be saying something, but I didn't have the podium book. Okay. Give me 1 second. Okay, we're good. At this time, will the incoming officers join me with their cameras turned on? Everyone else, please keep your cameras off. Okay. Please unmute, raise your right hand, and repeat after me. I state your name,
I, Sadie Almgren,
do solemnly promise to faithfully execute the office of, state your office,
Do solemnly
promise to
faithfully
execute
execute
the
the
office
office of first vice president
and all the duties that it entails.
and all the
duties that it entails.
I further promise to promote Latin and the Junior Classical League.
I further promise to promote Latin in the Junior Classical League.
Do you promise to uphold and carry out your duties as stated in the CAJCL Constitution and bylaws?
I do.
I do.
Do you promise to carry out the recommendations of the state chairs and to help promote Latin and the Junior Classical League during your term of office?
I do.
I do.
Congratulations to your 2021-2022 CAJCL board. And now please welcome one of next year's CAJCL convention presidents, Sophia and Louise.
Salvete omnes. I'm Sophia Perez Lanza.
And I'm Louise Moore.
and we are from St. Francis High School in Sacramento. We are happy to announce that next year, all roads will lead to Sacramento because we will be hosting CAJCL convention.
We have many ideas to make next year's convention fun and interactive after a year and a half online. We will have Kurtomen, Catapult and Chariot, Roman speed dating, dances, great colloquia, and more. It will be exciting to meet fellow JCL members in person again and share JC love.
Next year will be the first time that convention is held at St. Francis, and we are excited to show you our beautiful city.
We can't wait to see you all at St. Francis at convention next year.
And now, please welcome Ms. Masoni, Graphic Arts Chair, for some graphic arts highlights.
Salvete omnes. We wanted to share with you a few of the results of the chapter contest and a couple of art pieces. So we'll start with banner. Next slide, please. So for banner, third place to Menlo, second to Harker, and first to Miramonte. Next is scrapbook for middle school scrapbook, third to Harker Middle School, second to CHD, and first to Crossroads Middle School. For the high school scrapbooks, third to Woodbridge, second to Menlo Atherton, and first to Miramonte. For t-shirt, middle school, third to Harker, second to CHD, and first to Willows. And for high school t-shirt, third to Miramonte, second to Live Oak, and first to Menlo Atherton. And then we selected a couple of pieces. So here's an example of an illustrated quotation by Annie from Miramonte. Next, some photograph entered in the computer enhanced photograph category by Samantha from St. Ignatius. A textile piece from Francis from Miramonte. Next, a drawing by Aidan from Loyola. And the last is a painting of Narcissus by Cassandra from Miramonte. All of the art pieces are visible if you go back in SCED to graphic arts judging, which was at 10 o'clock this morning. You can click on the links of the individual and chapter contests if you want to see more examples of all the wonderful art that was turned in. Thank you. And now Ms. Dabi Vasquez wants to honor Mrs. Altieri for her time in CAJCL.
All right. We want to take a moment now to recognize the tremendous contribution that Martha Altieri has made to CAJCL. You've heard it throughout this convention, but it's time to say it one more time. For the last 25 years, she's been our state chair, and she's been absolutely central to the many positive changes that allowed us to grow and to become the CAJCL that we are today. When I came to California in '91, I was amazed to see students running graphic arts at convention, running competitive katamen, open katamen, just about everything. It was great for the kids as a learning experience, but then the next year convention, you moved to another school and a new set of kids had to learn all over again. So as soon as they learned how to do something, it was too late because now it was done and the next group had to learn. Chaotic is about the word that comes to mind. Mrs. Altieri instituted adult chairs to oversee the major events. We weren't very good at it the first year either, but we got better. Conventions ran more smoothly and now host schools can concentrate on offering some unique events of their own. The same thing happened to the tradition of hosting students from around the state in our homes at convention. Can you imagine, on top of running an entire convention, we would have maybe 500 kids we had to house throughout our community. Some of us remember that. Mrs. Altieri also made the infamous white booklet into a PDF so that we wouldn't lose important rules and awards that shouldn't vary from year to year. And that's how the blue booklet was formed. It's not blue this year, but sometimes it is. So now the host schools put their energies into that second document. Another change, at one time, convention ran into Sunday. The last day we sat in a gym listening to awards for hours. It was excruciating. even if you won awards because you tend to zone out and miss when your name got called. She put an end to that as well. Then it became clear that we needed computer programming to be efficient in our award system. She turned to her husband, John, and he set up FileMaker Pro, which we have used every single year until this year because it's a different system. Mrs. Altieri started at Woodbridge with 36 students in her JCL. And when she retired from there, 250. It wasn't unusual for her to have 40 students in one class. For the rest of us, as Mr. Davis said at our last board meeting, she was a source of inspiration for our own clubs. The question was always, what is Woodbridge doing? Their website, their newsletters were treasure troves. I know Menlo stole Progressive Supper from them. We also stole the toilet paper wrapping contest that we often use with the middle schools, toga wrapping. And I think they were the first to start decorating pumpkins way back when. And look at our SCL. Her former students, John Gumps and Sydney Higa, nursed that into existence, and they're still with us. Not long ago, there was no SCL in California, and now we can't run a convention without them. She and John have moved back to Atlanta to be near family. We know this is right for them, but we can't help feeling the loss. She set an example, always calm, always prepared, always thinking of new ideas, always welcoming new teachers and clubs, and we strove to emulate her. Mrs. Altieri handpicked Mr. Davis to take on the job of state chair, so we know that he will carry us into the next decade or two and add his own spin to her legacy. Thank you, Mr. Davis. We're sending this vase to her. I'm going to show it to you as best I can, but unfortunately, of course, it's glass. All you can see is me, but there it is. It's heavy. Mrs. Altieri does not like things that have to be dusted off. She likes things that are practical. So this one says, gratias tibi agamus, optimi duci, collegae, amici. We thank you, Martha, our inspiring leader, our colleague, and our friend. We will miss you, but we wish you every happiness in your new home. Thank you.
All right, so we have some updates on the website spotlight that we are running. So we've already got a few submissions, but there are some schools who may still want to submit. So we are going to be leaving that form open, so you can feel free and submit. And then we will be posting those chapter websites to the state website in the coming days. So something to look forward to. And we may also be running a competition with these websites. So may that be an incentive for you to get your website posted. And then throughout the year, we like to run fun events on our CAJCL Discord. So I'll also be pasting that in the chat. So highly recommend you join if you want to continue to be a part of this community until our next event at Nationals. You can, we run some fun events there. So looking forward to seeing you there. And now I will hand it off to our Southern Representative, Meghna Krishnan, for the final announcements of this General Assembly.
All right, thank you, Kabir. Salve to everyone. Oh, just a quick reminder that after the close of this assembly, we have the World Series of Kurtaman, where you can watch SCLers and teachers compete in a heated round of wacky Kurtaman. It's going to be super fun, so make sure you don't miss it.
Hi, everyone. Oh, sorry, a little echo. We want to start by thanking everyone for attending the first ever virtual CAJCL convention. Thank you all for being patient and adapting to this virtual format. We hope you all learned something new, made new friends, and most of all, had fun. Students, please join us in sending a big thank you to all of the teachers who dedicated their time, effort, and weekend to make sure we all had a great time. This event could not have happened without them. We also want to thank both the Southern and Northern representatives, Kara and Meghna, for sharing all of their knowledge about running virtual conventions with us. They both put on great events this past fall, and we could not have put on state without their help. Many thanks to the rest of the CAJCL board and to CAJCL for all of their help running this convention.
A special thank you to Rebecca and Claire from Live Oaks for running the Roman speed dating, and to Miramonte for running the Apud Nos. Thank you to all of the Menlo JCLers who have spent these past few months writing games, organizing colloquia speakers, and we want to thank Luke UN for managing all of our technology. A special thank you to the Menlo parents who took the time out of their spring breaks to help score Curtamen and judge competitions. And finally, we would like to thank Ms. Vasquez and Ms. Jort for all the time they've spent over this past year helping us with this convention. We have learned so much from both of you, and we are so lucky to have spent this past year working with you. And to conclude this year's convention, here is Rupert.
It has been an enormous honor serving as your second vice president this year. And with that, is there a motion to adjourn the 65th Annual California Junior Classical League State Convention? I recognize the delegate from Harker. Is there a second? I recognize the delegate from Harvard Westlake. All in favor, say aye. Aye. And all opposed, say nay. Nay. Okay. The motion passes. Thank you all for coming, and yeah, see you next year.